Hello, lovely, and welcome to the Essence of Expression podcast. Get ready to explore insights, lessons, practices, and wisdom from life for life. I'm your host, Arejay, healer, teacher, student, and sage. I'm excited and honored to have you with me on this journey. Let's dive in. So, I want to talk to you today about letting the knowing be enough. And this is spurred by a woman in one of the groups that I'm in, where we kind of all study metaphysical things and practices, and she was trying to find a way to help her daughter, right? Which, one, I'd really love to applaud her for that in the first place, because she herself isn't gifted, but her daughter is, and at least she understands that her daughter is. I know a lot of people who are gifted who had families that are not gifted, and they were shamed for it, and lots of trauma there because of how their gifts were perceived and how they were treated because of it, right? So props to this mom for recognizing that, hey, like, my daughter is gifted, I am not. How do I help her, right? And the gist of the situation is that her daughter had experienced, she kept having this feeling that something bad was going to happen, right? And she couldn't get any more information about it. She didn't know how to get more information about what was going to happen. And they were trying to figure that out. How do we get more details? How do we, connect with guides and get them to tell us, or what have you. The thing about it is, sometimes just the knowing is enough. Sometimes just knowing alters patterns of behavior and changes everything that needs to change, or puts things into place the way it needs to be placed, right? So I'm never really one who is an advocate for trying to force anything. When it comes to working with your psychic gifts, when it comes to working with spirit, things like that, I'm not that person who's going to try to force that. Okay. Things come in the precise time that they are supposed to, in a way that's going to be the most impactful and the way you're going to be able to best receive the information, in my experience. And so sometimes that knowing is enough, right? Because sometimes things happen all the time, and it's not necessarily that we're notified about it to stop it or, play a big role in it. Sometimes we're just notified because it's coming. Sometimes we're notified because that puts us on alert enough for us to not be in a path that we're not supposed to be in. And sometimes it's not even about you, right? So for example, I was actually having a conversation with a gentleman, and he had a really beautiful way of putting it. And the way he chose to phrase it is, sometimes you're meant to be the ripple, right? So it's learning to receive the information and understand the information and act on the information in whatever way is appropriate, so that you can play the role you're supposed to play and you can create the ripple. So I'll give you an example. Some years back, a friend and I were going to go to an event. We were going to be vending at an event. We were also going to be performing at an event that another friend was hosting. And we had signed up. We were super excited to go. And a few months before the event, I was just like, I can't go. Something's going to happen. I can't go. And I didn't know what it was that was going to happen. I didn't know, there was no logic to this at all. But I was just like, something is going to happen and I cannot be there. And that was just the message that I kept getting, right? And this isn't from a place of fear, because that's something different, and that's something we have to, as sensitive people, we have to learn the difference in the nuances, right? Because there is a very different energy signature to information about something coming that is not pleasurable versus a fear that something bad is going to happen. And being able to tell those different signals in your body and in your receiving is going to go a long way. But back to the story. So like, I was just like, I can't go. Something's going to happen. I can't go. And so I sat with that for a while. Like, naturally at first I was like, that seems ridiculous. Like, what is the issue here? And I kept getting that message back. I'm like, all right, well, fine. Like, something's happening. I can't go. And I sat and I was kind of like, well, can you at least let me know? Like, is it something that happens to the event? Like, do I need to warn the host as well so they can decide what to do with that? And there was no warning to be given because it was nothing that was going to happen with the event itself. Like, nothing bad was going on at the event itself. I just was not supposed to be there at this event and could not be. So I called up the host, and luckily she's she's another like sensitive and open to metaphysical things and understands, spirit and things like that. And so I told her, I was like, I can't be there. Like, I don't know. I just keep getting this message. Something's going to happen and I am not supposed to be there. I don't think it's anything with your event. Like, I don't get any sense of like the event itself being in danger or other people attending being in danger. I just cannot be there. Something is happening and I can't be there. And so she was like, okay. And she was really sweet about it and like refunded me money and everything else. And because I pulled out, my friend pulled out as well, because we were going to be going together and staying together and like splitting a lot of the cost for the actual trip itself. So she pulled out. So when we get to the time of the show that's supposed to happen, my friend's dad, not the host, but the friend that was going to go, like we were going to go together, her dad is in transition. So he's on his deathbed. And so she was actually able to fly out to go be with him and be there for his transitioning and love on him and just, be there and share that with him. That otherwise she wouldn't have been able to do so, right? Like, finances would have been tied up, things would have been in motion in a different path, and she wouldn't have gotten to have that time to spend with her dad. And in that instance, that was me listening, and in my listening and actioning accordingly, like, I was that ripple. So sometimes the knowing is enough, right? Just knowing that it's coming, because it's going to change how you are receiving things. Still change. You may pick up something that you might have missed if you weren't already kind of on alert about something coming. These things work in so many different ways, but it's not about forcing it, and it's not necessarily that you need more information all the time, right? Like, sometimes you're going to get really, really detailed, very complete, very thorough, like, here's the whole manual on how this thing is going to go and what you need to do. And if you need to tell other people, like, down to the letter. And sometimes you're just going to get this kind of like, hey, look out. It's not going to give you more information than that. But whatever it is that you are given, trust that that's enough. Thank you for your time and attention. If you enjoyed this episode, follow the show. And if someone came to mind while you were listening, share this episode with them. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night or day, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care.